I'll be right on, guys. I'm just waiting for a few people to jump on. Here we go. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Let me. No, that's. Why not? I have my picture there. Okay. There we go. Hey, guys. Thanks for being on. Can you hear me? Okay, good. So welcome to the diamond portion of the call. I wanted to get into some things first and foremost, and I was hoping we would have more diamonds on here, but we don't. But I'm actually going to talk about that before. A part of diamond is you are the leaders of this organization, and we cannot have diamonds who are not hitting Success Club. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good when we do those leaderboards and most of the diamonds aren't on there. And if you think that other coaches in the organization don't notice whose names are on there or not on there, they do. And I think that just like we do in our fitness programs, just like we do in anything else, we need to lead by walk the walk. And we can't be running Coach Basics groups and telling people that Success Club is non-negotiable if we're not doing it ourselves. And so I think people get that now, but I need people to understand it, because honestly, if you're not hitting Success Club, you're going to lose your diamond. There's no way you can build a team and hold on to your diamond if you're not hitting Success Club, if you're not doing, because if you're not hitting Success Club, because then your coaches don't hit Success Club because they don't think it's non-negotiable. And so that is the first message I wanted to talk about. And that is honestly, it's given as no judgment. It's just that we are a leadership group, and part of leadership is hitting the basics of hitting Success Club. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the health bet. You guys have to go and run with this. If you wait to start trying to get people into the health bet, like at the end of August, it's going to be way too late. And so I don't know how you're going to do it, whether you get people in free groups, whether you start sending out messages to your existing customers. A lot of people have used this health bet as a way to get their discount coaches who have gone inactive, their customers who have gone, kind of just sideways and stuff like that, and gotten them more re-engaged. Another line that people use that has been working well is a lot of people don't want to sign as coaches, but, this concept of getting paid to do your workout and drink your shake. And so that definitely is, something that we should run with. And I know myself, I'm actually getting my emails together of my existing customers and trying to get them. And then I'm going to launch my own my own, what do you call it? My own health bet group that people can do. And I think I might make an event. Usually I don't do events, but I think this might be a good thing to do an event for. What's the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about? So I wanted to show you this. So I'm going to be teaching this in the group, I think, tomorrow, but let me share my screen. Okay. So this came from Nikki Johnson. And I basically took her idea and slapped my name on it, but I did message her and thank her. So we're always telling people to message people. We're telling people to comment on their stuff, but we're never giving them kind of like a parameters to do this. And I think for a lot of at least my coaches, like they do those hey girl messages, but they never quite like get the Beachbody in. Or you might have your coaches are like, well, when do I talk about Beachbody and stuff? And I think for some of us, it's really, can you guys still see this?
That's better.
All right, good. So I think for some of us, it's just natural to know like when to talk about it and when to not. But like I've realized that there are people who are completely opposite of me and they need to be led step by step. And so what my assistant's doing now is she's making a worksheet to go along with this. And so people will be able to take their 10 to 20 people that they want to work with, and then they'll be able to take these steps. And then so the first step is just liking and commenting on a few of people's posts. Do that for a couple of days. And then the next step is that you like and comment and message. And so you're liking, commenting, messaging. And I think a lot of you guys, I mean, you're diamonds, so obviously you kind of are really good at this, but you might send a message for some reason, like find a reason to message people. And then in 2 days, it says go to step 3 with that person. And so check your messages, follow up, form. In Coach Basics, I think tomorrow they learn about form, about, talking about other things other than Beachbody and stuff like that. And then in 2 days, go to step 4 with that person. And then again, follow up messages, continue, it's just really trying to continue a conversation. And I think that at least my coaches are pretty good with this, but what they don't understand is they don't understand how to kind of segue to Beachbody, or they're just really uncomfortable. And so they never really pull the trigger. And so Nikki Johnson told me she makes her coaches do this, and that they have to invite that person to a challenge group or a coaching opportunity, free group, or, maybe now it's this health bet, which is pretty awesome because the health bet is so, I think all of us have gotten hit up at one time or another to do one of those diet bets. And so it's kind of like an innocuous kind of invite to do. And then, go back to that person. Did they respond? And if the person, didn't respond or whatever, they just simply go back and get put at a slot number 1 again. And then in 90 days, go back to step number 1 with that person. I got to tell you, anybody that said no to me in the previous month, I always re-invite them the next month. And so, I don't know, maybe other people feel differently, but that's what I'm going to be sharing with coaches tomorrow, probably I think I'm just going to do a Zoom and I'll just tape it. And then they can ask questions. And then I might tape the Zoom and then go live with like questions and stuff like that. But I think that the thing is that people either aren't sending messages or they're not doing it in a controlled manner, meaning they're kind of haphazardly all over the place, and they're not connecting. They're not keeping track of like, when did I send this message? And for a lot of my coaches, for some reason, they tell me that they don't follow up with coaches. And so I mean, they don't follow up with their prospects, which is kind of crazy because when you think of how many times you have to reach out to somebody for somebody to say yes to you, it's kind of crazy. So I think that's going to be helpful to people to have that kind of guide for them to guide themselves in the messaging. And in a lot of the groups, they felt like it was helpful to them. They felt like they had more guidance into how they're doing it. And so I just basically had my, I'm going to have my assistant, I just made just make a list. This is not the paper, but I'm just saying that there'll be a list where you can put the names here, and then it'll be like step 1, step 3, whatever. And so they can kind of keep track of it that way. And what else did I want to talk about? So that was the funnel. The next thing I wanted to talk about was, being halfway in as a leader or halfway out. And so I'm at the top, just like Danielle was. And when I built my business, I did not have Danielle doing everything for me. And so what I notice, at least in the Coach Basics, is people plop their people in there. And then I have like 20 people commenting and like sharing like their insides and sharing their stories. And their freaking sponsor coach like isn't even posting on there. And, like Karen, I'm seeing you, like, I know that you have posted on your coach's stuff, which is important, guys. I'm not the leader of your people. You are the leader of your people. And so if you're going to use Coach Basics or use things like that, you guys have to instill that you are the person, the support system for that person. I don't mind providing the group setting and the materials and all that other stuff. But I got to tell you, I had a coach with a call. I had a call with a coach last night, and she was like, I just don't understand why I'm not getting past Diamond. And I'm like, well, because you keep depending on your upline to train people and do that. And I got to tell you, even if you think that I do a better job training, I think that when your coaches know that you're in charge and you're the one that's leading, it creates a different atmosphere, I think, for your coaches. And so it's not just training. And actually, a lot of you on this call do this. And so I apologize that you're listening to this. But, recognition is really huge. Letting your coaches know, like, they are doing a great job. Letting your coaches know that, hey, Maurice, this is a diamond call. It's not until 9 o'clock yet, the regular call. So, Maureen, this is a diamond call. The regular call is at 9 o'clock.
Lenny, getting more serious, and Bunny, begin a new relationship with your friend.
Okay. All right, good. So, recognition is really, really huge. I know a lot of you have your own personally sponsored coach groups. And if you don't have that, you really should get that. But sometimes I have noticed that coaches like to be recognized in the big group, because, there's more people. And so, they kind of do that. I like how some of you, when you introduce a coach, I think Elizabeth, you started that, where you kind of like introduce them with a picture and stuff like that, which makes it really special. So training, recognition, another thing that's big, because my goal is to grow you guys as diamonds. I don't want you to just stay here as diamond. I want you to be elite or whatever it is that you want, and stuff like that. And so the next thing is like coaching opportunity. I didn't run coaching opportunity calls or Facebook groups because they really didn't have them in 2014. But I did get on the phone. Hi, sweetie. Did you win?
No, but we lost. But we.
Okay, I want to call.
Hello. Hello.
All right.
Back from my game.
All right. I'll talk to you after. But what was I saying?
Hope you're having a great day.
Oh, so the coaching opportunity. So a lot of times I would just literally get on the phone with people to talk to them about coaching. And so don't think that you need to have this big old Facebook group or things like that. You can really just get onto the phone one-on-one with people to build your team. And then a lot of you got on this call late. But what I started out by saying is that one of the things that bothers me when the Success Club Leadership Board comes down is that most, if not half, of my diamonds in this downline are not on that Success Club board. And that's just unacceptable. The first thing as a basic coach is that you need to hit Success Club. Like, we expect new coaches to hit Success Club. And so we can't be diamonds, we can't be leaders, and then thinking it's okay that we're not on there. And I do think that, if you're not putting yourself out there, your coaches are, you're sending the message to your coaches that Success Club is not non-negotiable. And so I would love to see the last 6 months that when we do a Success Club leaderboard, that every diamond is up there. And I got to tell you, a lot of you have fallen from diamond, and a lot of times you're falling from diamond because you're not hitting Success Club. And so therefore you're not bringing new people in, because we can't make people stay, right? But we can bring new people in. And one of the things I love is that I feel like every time I bring in new coaches, it changes kind of the texture of the coaching group. It brings in new energy. It brings in new ideas. It brings in new things, new ways to do things and stuff like that. So don't shortchange yourself by looking at coaches and thinking like, these are my coaches and I need them to hit diamond or whatever, because chances are I've had so many people that are so close to diamond and they just like quit, goodbye, whatever. And so you really you can't put that pressure almost on your coaches that are coming in, because it just makes the relationship unnatural. And so do yourself a favor, hit Success Club for your own business, hit Success Club for your coaches. So that's all I have. So I'm actually going to unmute you all if anybody has any questions or anything they want to share.
I'll go. Hold on. Let me make sure I have these in the right ears. I had to put you guys on mute. My daughter just had an exorcism breakdown over spelling words. So anyway, so Kim, you did a self-paced Coach Basics in January of 2015. And I have yet to set anything up like that for my team. And I was really getting overwhelmed trying to figure out who I was hand-holding and who I had let fall to the wayside and stuff. So this week I went in there and I kind of saw what you did and kind of mimicked something similar to that. And I put it up in my page yesterday. And my team seems really excited about it, because I need to get to the point where I am kind of breaking that cord between carrying them.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking on the brunt of that too much. And I have not been consistent from January this year hitting Success Club. I think I'm on a 3 or 4 month streak now, and I don't want to break that again. So, and so my team's kind of been doing the same thing. I have coaches that are leaders that are not hitting Success Club as well. And I know it starts from the top. So I really liked putting this Coach Basics kind of self-paced together. So at least they have some area where they can go grab information on their own.
Absolutely.
So that's been really helpful.
Good. Thank you. One of the things I did, I went back to old-fashioned teacher planner. And so I have all my new coaches, and I have things like, did we have a setup call? Did I have a get started right call with them? Have they posted out on social media that they're a coach? Have they done Coach Basics? Are they in a challenge group? Just so, like you said, Elizabeth, because it's hard to know who's falling off, who you're hand holding, whatever. And so I find that it's really easy to hold coaches accountable when you are organized. when you're not organized, it's really hard to hold coaches accountable. And what happens, at least for me, is you don't hold them accountable. And that's what seems to happen. Anybody else have anything?
I did the Coach Basics last month, and I had about 5 coaches in there, and one coach kept doing everything, and I was getting frustrated. And then finally I was like, well, if I get one coach and if I have to just work with that one coach, and we just kept going.
Look at Ashley. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have 10 people in that Coach Basics group I just did. And I think only 2 of them have done the work. And I put them all in a group message. And I said, look, guys, you asked to be in this Coach Basics because you needed to learn the business and you're not doing the work. And I just want to reiterate that if you want to learn this business, you need to do this work. And they were all like, and I don't think I've ever done that before. I don't think I've ever been like, this is important. And I didn't say it and I said to them, I said, this is no judgment. I said, this is just to let you know that Coach Basics is non-negotiable to learning this business. And, and I had people coming up with excuses. I'm like, look, I'm actually not looking for excuses. I'm telling you that I put you in this group because you need to learn the business. And so, if you have 2 people doing Coach Basics and you put 10 people in there, guess what? Because every month that you have coaches hitting Success Club builds your business. Because let's face it, if all 10 of those people I put in Coach Basics, if they learn the tenements of this business and they hit Success Club, that means that I have now 20 to 25 coaches hitting Success Club. So that's how fast your business can turn around.
Oh my gosh, Joe, you just wrapped
Anybody else? Anything good going on in your groups?
Yeah, my group is going really well. It's my general accountability group, but there was a bunch of us that did either they were doing a fresh round of 21 or a bunch of us started extreme, and it's so different when the enthusiasm is there with everybody. Everyone feeds off the other, and it's just really exciting right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
You get a lot of coaches. That's always the best way to get working coaches, I believe, when you have good energy in your challenge groups.
And I'm actually doing what Tanya had suggested, where I'm doing a big giveaway. Actually, I've got it right here. Doing this big basket of all this stuff, flip-flop and beach towel and stuff like that. And there's a personal development book in there. And so they have to tag me in Facebook. So that's actually taking them out of the challenge app, which is an extra step for them, but there is an incentive. And there's only 3 of them doing it, but the feedback they're getting on Facebook, my sister's the one that's getting the most of it. And I've been working on her to be a coach for the last 6 months. And I don't know if it'll happen, but she's seeing all the positive that's coming from, and people are already asking, is your sister a coach? Yeah. Because she's seeing the selfies and the motivation and stuff like that. So it's been fun.
Oh, good. Can you, how do you get them to post on Facebook?
Well, I started it with this last round, and we're halfway through 21 days. And I just, I pinned the post, and I gave them 5 different things they need to do, and they're all weighted as far as points, depending on how challenging it is. They've only gone up as far as posting a selfie. They have to tag me, and then they have to say what workout they did. So Jenna will have Autumn's in the background, on her TV. But today she had her Pilates band around her neck.
Yes, I was I thought she was a working coach.
I'm gonna have to tell her that. But yeah, they just but they have to. I said they can't just throw a motivational quote up there. They have to say how it had added value to them or how it spoke to them. So that gets them talking about it, and then tag me. And then if they did a recipe, it has to be Fix Approved, and they had to have had done it, actually ate it, tried it, made it, take a photo of it. So it's trying to get them to be more active, but like I said, only 3 of them are doing it, yet I've got 20 plus people logging in daily on the app. So the participation's there.
Yeah, that's great. This is the first challenge group I've done. Every time I have a challenge group and everybody posts their before pictures, I'm like,
yeah.
It's like Bill Cosby and the Jell-O. I know. And what's funny is that those girls that are in my country heat, they jumped into the Coach Basics. And like, cause I put all my discount coaches in my personally sponsored group. And I actually messaged them. I'm like, do you guys know that that's a working coach group? They're like, yeah, we want to know how to do it. And I'm like, okay.
No way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So anything else before everybody else jumps in?
I just sent out a whole bunch of emails yesterday and today to like basically every customer I have and every coach. And I sent them the link to my new challenge group for the health bet and wrote them about what's going on. And people are writing back. And it's really great. I have some like discount coaches who have always been like drinking their shake and working out. And they're actually like excited. They're like, oh yeah, I download the tracker. I'm going to do your invite. I'm going to really do it. So I was kind of happy about that, like that they're really getting back into it.
Yeah, it's been, I think it's going to refresh a lot of people's businesses, which is really good, and stuff. Anybody else have anything to share? So, well, did you guys all get your elite reports? You're all like,
yeah.
I got mine, and I'm totally going to make it this year.
you could totally do it. I've seen people do it.
I totally am.
There's a lot that happens between September and December, and it gets nuts because a lot of people go to sleep in the business between September and October. And then a lot of people just work that much harder. So I think it'll work. But you know, when you're looking at those elite numbers, because some of you are new diamonds, you need to look at three things. You need to look at your ATV, and your ATV is your coaches, coaches, and their coaches. So it's only 3 levels down. And that's how much they sell, how much they buy, whatever. Like last year, mine was 1.7 million. And so I don't start earning points until I hit 1.7 million. And right now we're only 6 months in 8 months in, and we're at 1.4 million. And so obviously the business is growing just based on that. And then the next thing you want to look at is your Success Club and your coaches who are earning Success Club, because whatever coaches you have from 2015 and 2016 who hit Success Club, it doubles. So like, let's say you have 2 coaches that hit Success Club and they're from 2015 or 16, and you did 2, instead of 2 points, you're earning 4 points. So that's good. And then the last thing is your personally sponsored coaches PV, and that is only 2016 coaches. And this is why recruiting is so big, because, you know, a lot of my heavy hitters are from 2014, and a lot of you guys who count for me this year won't count for me next year. And so I really need to do a better job recruiting, because this year recruiting numbers have, you know, it's not a recruiting number thing, it's a recruiting working coaches hitting Success Club thing. You know, I think Sarah is probably like one of the few 2016 coaches that I have that just like nails it every month. You know, so that doesn't bode well for me for starting 2017. But so those are the 3 things that you need to look at when you're looking at your elite report. And you should look at your ATV. You should look at how much that grows a month. You should know that number. You should keep track of, you know, PV for your coaches that from 2016. If they're discount, that's fine. You can raise volume by, you know, having your discount coaches do a 3-day refresh group, you know, getting them excited about Country Heat, you know, and things like that, getting them excited about Core de Force that's going to come out, and stuff like that. So all of that counts. I'm just going to wait on people jumping on. I see Danielle is on. Hi. Hello. Danielle. So since I don't want to waste too much time, I'm actually going to go into the call. So I'm going to mute everybody first and just say welcome to the call. I wanted to talk about a few things, and this is what we talked about on the Diamond call too, but I think that we are turning the course in making Success Club non-negotiable. I think we had a few rough months, but I think everybody seems to understand that Success Club is non-negotiable. And how I know this is a lot of you are hitting Success Club early, which is really awesome. And those of you who have working coaches, you need to hit Success Club early so that you can take care of your business, and you can also then use the second half of the month to be helping out your coaches. The next thing I talked about was the health bet that's starting on September 5th. Guys, you have to start inviting to this now. You have to start kind of doing your jabs for this now. Do not wait till the end of August. It will be too late, especially for people who need to order Shakeology and have their things, because you're going to have to load them onto the portal and do all that. And so the first way I would use the health bet is to really reinvigorate your discount coaches, reinvigorate your customers who you haven't heard from, and things like that. You know, I've had a lot of people that tell me, you know, they have an old bag of Shakeology. Great. You want to drink an old bag of Shakeology? That's wonderful. You know, like, I know that if I can get them back into the daily thing of doing it again, that they will come back and be a Shakeology customer. And so make sure you do that. I personally am going to be setting up an event for that. And so you guys can invite and use that event, or you can create your own. Tomorrow, the 3-week yoga retreat program that's coming out, that's exclusive to Beachbody On Demand, that sneak peek is tomorrow for everybody. And so whenever there's a sneak peek, I always go into my challenge groups and I let people know the value of Beachbody On Demand and let them know that they can do that. And actually, sometimes I do it at night because sometimes my coaches, my customers get up early and work out and stuff. So I am actually going to turn the call over to our guest speaker, because I know Danielle from, she's from Diesel Nation, and she just always appeared to me to be this calm, like, leader. She always, like, I never, even when she like started out, she just was like this, always this calm leader. She has a way of saying things that is just, it gets to your heart. And honestly, like, she's very much, you know, loves God, faith-based. And she actually helped me. I don't even think I've told her this, like, build my faith in God a little more. And so that's how amazing she is. She is an 8-star diamond, 2-time elite coach. Her husband is a 5-star coach premier. She is a Success Club all-star legend. And she started in 2013. And she is right now running a top 130 team coach. And I know from the leaderboards from last year, she was as high as number 16. And so she has a lot of strong team members on her team, and her team members go deep. And so I really love that she's going to be talking to you guys. So Danielle, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And I do have to say, I admire you, Kim, and I have ever since I started, because I kind of feel like we started the same time. I started in March 2013, and I think you were somewhere right around there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, I just admire you and just how you've taken off with your leadership. I love how you speak in your posts. I mean, you're definitely one of those people that I have not unfollowed because as you grow so big, you don't want to follow everyone, but I continue to follow you because I do admire you. So thank you for having me. You guys have a phenomenal leader. I mean, crazy leader. And I think you guys are super blessed. So just to give you a little bit about, me and my story. So I've been a coach a little over 3 years, and where I was 3 years ago, I was doing hair. I've been a hairstylist I was a hairstylist for over 10 years. And I was working really hard. My husband was also working hard. He's a master boat mechanic at Bass Pro Shops. And we're both hands-on people. So we were just working really hard. He was working like 9-10 hour days, and so was I. So I knew when we had kids, I wanted to be home. I wanted to be present for my girls. And as soon as I got pregnant, I said, I don't want to work in a salon anymore because it's just crazy, with drama and cutthroat environment. And I was double booked. I mean, the entire 10 days or 10 hours that I was working, and it was very stressful. So that was my goal. As soon as I started coaching, I said, I am going to retire myself and I'm going to be home with my family. So I ended up working from home for a long time, which became even more stressful. This was when I got pregnant with my first, almost 6 years ago. And I worked from home for 3 years, and it just was hard. It was harder than working at a salon because I had clients calling my phone, showing up at my house. Like, it just was out of control. So when I was introduced to this opportunity from one of my hair clients, I saw this as a tool. Like, I saw this as a way out. And of course I fell in love with Shakeology. Who wouldn't? I fell in love with insanity. It completely changed my mind, my body, my soul. I mean, I just felt incredible, and I had never felt like that before. So I had been a gym rat. I had been in every sport you could think of growing up, but I had never felt the way that I felt on this. Just changed through the inside out. And so I just started naturally sharing. I never wanted to be a salesperson, and that was my first objection. I didn't want to sit behind a chair doing someone's hair, selling anyone. So I knew that I had to just be proof of the products, and that was my number one goal. I wanted to feel my best, look my best, because I had never felt 100% in the best shape of my life. And so I said, I'm going to do this for myself. And my husband was the biggest skeptic. He will tell you to this day, he was against it. He was skeptical because we just didn't have the money to do something like this. So I used that as pure motivation to run with this. And all my hair clients, my friends, my family, they were just asking me what I was doing. And naturally, I just was sharing that I felt incredible, and I started sharing. And of course, I did everything wrong in the beginning, and I learned from my mistakes. But it's just completely transformed our lives from, working really hard, being in debt, stressed out, to an amazing, stress-free, just relaxed, I guess you would say, like no stress. My husband only works 4 days a week now, just 8 hours for insurance purposes, but I have big goals to retire him. I don't do hair anymore. I'm there for my girls. We got to this beautiful home that it doesn't even seem real. I still wake up and I'm like, is this our home? So it's just been one blessing, I call it, for our family. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity. But one thing that I'm sharing tonight, it's 3 simple topics. What I believe, how you can make your business strong, and that's by attracting the right people to your business. So, I knew in the beginning that, like I said, I did everything wrong. If I was only going to attract the people that wanted the discount, right, and I kept discounting the opportunity in the beginning, I wasn't going to go so far. So I saw that once I attracted other people like myself, that my business would explode, and it has, because the majority of people on my team, they want this for the opportunity, have really strong why. So I'm going to get into 3 things and how to share that why and that vision, how to stay consistent, which is so important, and how to expand your reach to grow. So the first one is you have to find your defining moments in your life and share those things. And it took me a long time to figure it out, but I'm going to share it with mine so you can get an example. And if this comes to the top of your head, write it down right now. So defining moments in my life that have shaped and molded me to who I am today is having my girls. When I became a mom, something woke up in me that I want to change. I wanted more. I didn't want to settle. I didn't know exactly what I wanted because I hadn't found Beachbody right when I had them. It was 8 months postpartum with my second. And I knew I wanted more. So becoming a mom was my first defining moment. My second was when I found my why. My coach, Christina, had me one night till like midnight begging out of me, because all I would say for so long is I just want to help people and create this amazing, thing for my girls to look up to one day to create a healthy lifestyle. And she's like, you're just BSing me. Like, what is your why? And so I was in tears one night. Like, I was hysterical saying, I want more. Like, I really want more. And I started thinking and dreaming big, which I had never done in my entire life. I was the negative Nancy. I had settled. My faith was not strong. I was a partier, like some crazy stuff about me. I still have yet to share some deep, deep things, but that moment, something changed in my life, and I woke up again. The third defining moment was when my father passed away. So many things woke up in me that, you know, he was an entrepreneur and traveled the world and created his dream life for himself. And I admire that to no end. He also didn't live the healthiest lifestyle. So, you know, defining moment that I want to be healthy and need to create these habits for myself and people around me. That's why I'm so passionate about reversing cancer and all these crazy diseases that are out there. So you see, just by me sharing those three things with you, I kind of feel, and I know that you now know me a lot better, who I am. So imagine if you take your defining moments and you make a video, and I have my social media boot camp do this. They make a video, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and they share who they are, their defining moments. And this lets down walls because our whole business is on social media. And I think it's so hard for someone to get to know the real you if you're not sharing these deep things about yourself. And when you open up, people build trust with you. They know who you are, and they want to come to you when the time comes when you share that opportunity or that challenge group. So that's something that I instill in my coaches is you have to share those defining moments, and you could tie it into Beachbody. Like, look, being a mom, like I want to be the best example. That was one of my defining moments. My why, the big dreams and visions that I have for my life with living free and retiring my husband now and, you know, paying off my mortgage. I mean, my whys just get deeper and deeper now. And then, of course, reversing like health issues. It can all tie into Beachbody, your defining moments. So you got to craft that story. And that story, I think, is your most powerful recruiting tool that you have. And I think you have to share it with your team because your team needs that trust in you. Like if they know that you have a really strong, powerful story and reason why you're doing this, they're going to trust you to continue to go on that journey with you. So I'm always talking about my goals and my visions to my team. And that's super important to creating that culture also. People are struggling. And so that gives them hope by sharing those moments and sharing the real you. Because a lot of times people paint this perfect picture of, you know, their life. And, you know, having that connection is just, it's beautiful. It's like a really cool thing. Something that I have really valued on this journey is just letting out the real me. It hasn't been easy, but connecting with other people that can relate and have the same issues. So one book, I always kind of relate to books and kind of quote them. So write down Crush It. This was an awesome book I read listened to an audio right before Summit from Gary Vaynerchuk. Vaynerchuk, I think that's his last name. And he was awesome in that book. And it made me even think you need to be even more bold with your story. He says in this book, you have to be so bold. Like, I mean, crazy bold with your story that if someone goes to your page, if someone watches a video, they're pinpointing that's that girl. Like, that's her story and that's who she is. And so I encourage my coaches at the end of the day, go to your Facebook timeline and kind of do like an evaluation. Was I salesy? Was I sharing? Was I real in my posts? And on my one-on-one calls with my coaches, I just go and look at their timeline the entire time we're talking because I just want to see what they're posting. And majority of the time, they're not sharing the opportunity. So it's going to be hard to attract those strong business builders. They're not sharing stories and so many other examples that I'm going to give you right now. But you got to be bold in your posts, not just Shakeology and, you know, like you have to be bold with this story, and that's how you're gonna draw in those strong people that want the same visions for you. And it's contagious. Like when you see Kim saying, you know, I'm doing this or I'm doing that or I'm here at this event, like you want to be a part of it. You know, I mean, I wanted to be a part of my coaches' community. It just was so like contagious. I don't know the other word, just like energy sucking type of thing. Like I needed it, I craved it. But the more you share your struggles, the more you share those bold things, you're going to attract those people. So, for example, I've shared that, my husband and I had these financial stresses. I've shared we struggled in our marriage because the financial burden, we were overworked, tired, stressed. And after sharing those things, I've had personal messages from people saying, I've struggled the exact same way. Like, I would love to get in your group. I need this opportunity. And it's like people just flock to you naturally because you're just sharing these things and you're speaking to those people that you want to attract. So my crew, the people that I speak to, I want to speak to the busy mom because I was a crazy busy mom who didn't see the girls that much right when I had them because I was in the other room in the house working like a crazy woman till 10 o'clock at night doing hair and on holidays, and it just was out of control. I want to speak to the faithful mom or the unfaithful mom that has lost hope. I want to speak to someone that's super unhealthy. Like those people I can relate to and I want to talk to them, or someone that's struggling with money because we were. And I also think that people want to see what this can do for them. So we need to show them. We need to show them the non-financial, right? Not just like, 15-star diamond, millionaire club. Like, it's almost like not real. And one of my coaches actually said, I just watched one of her videos tonight in our Push to Diamond. She said, yeah, right. I kept looking at Danielle and kept saying, yeah, right. Like, she just says everything like all these other coaches say. But once I started to like really show and share those deep, vulnerable things, she flocked to me because I was so real and so honest. And you don't just share those just because, So a lot of people are thinking that. So we need to share the non-financial, the lifestyle, the potential, and the successes. So an example of like a really strong why, like you want to be home with your kids, right? I know for me, that was like a really big thing. You want to create wealth for your family. Like most people don't even think that big these days. You want to pay for your kids' college education. Like I want to be able to say yes to whatever my girls want to do. If they want to go to Harvard and become a doctor, I know that sounds crazy, but I am on a mission to do just that. And I know in my heart it's going to happen because I've expanded my mind and I've worked really hard in this business where it can provide that. And so people on my timeline know that I'm going for these crazy goals and they want to join that impact and that type of thing also. So those are the type of whys. Just to give you an example, paying up your mortgage. I mean, who doesn't want to pay up their mortgage? People are just working these days to barely get by. This inspires people. And then to give you an example, something that I do with my coaches is we have a file in our team page. Let me get some water. We have a file in our team page, and it's just examples on how to share the opportunity. So, coaches are like, well, how do I share the opportunity? And, they're just struggling because it's not easy in the beginning. It's hard to share it naturally. Start a little file in your team page, and every time someone does a great coaching opportunity post or just a little nugget, copy and paste it and make sure you say at the beginning of this file, make these your own, make these your own posts. But this just helps your team come up with, or your coaches, it creates just a system to come up with more ways to share the opportunity. And then it's helped my team tremendously for a new coach starting out saying, well, how am I going to share coaching? I just started, but I want to run with this, So just another way to get it out there. If you haven't read the book, Start With Why by Simon Sinek, amazing book. It was a game changer, life changer for me. People do not buy what you're doing. They buy why you do it. So if you're not sharing your why, if you're not sharing those defining moments and where you're going with this business, it's going to be hard for people to join your train, to join this mission that you're on. So when I started sharing, that I had these crazy audacious goals, I'm sure so many people laughed at me, and they still do. I still have a family that's unsupportive, but guess what? Like, this train's going, and it's not turning back around, but it's inspired a lot of people to take action in their life and to join this coaching opportunity, not just to get healthy and fit. And Dave Ramsey, another one, Entre Leadership, amazing leadership book, but he says your organization and network has to hear 21 times your vision before they start to listen. That was very mind-blowing to me because even your coach network, right, your team of coaches, If you want to have them create action and to get working in this business, you got to share your vision with them. You got to share your vision with your Facebook network. And that vision is what is going to have people, join you. And a lot of times, most people aren't sharing this opportunity enough. So, right, you share maybe once every couple weeks or once a month, right? Because you're afraid to share the opportunity. Most of the time, no one is seeing that post except maybe like 20% of your Facebook. So if you're not sharing, there's no way you're going to get enough people to join you if it's, once or twice a month. I share this coaching thing every single day in natural ways, and I've gotten better at it. It's taken time, but every single day it's a part of my posts. I love this quote. This was also from Entre Leadership. Sell what you believe. Let what you do serve as proof of that belief, and make people invested in your purpose instead of merely impressed by your accomplishments. So you are getting people to believe what you believe by sharing that vision, that why, those goals, and those defining moments. The second way to attract business builders into your business is you've got to stay consistent on social media. Like, this has to be like clockwork. This has to be like eating and sleeping. Like, you do this in your sleep. And for me, this is like crazy. I've never been consistent with anything in my life. Some things, yes, but sticking to a business like this, I've never been super consistent in my health, my fitness, and something like on the side that I had started. So this needs to be consistent. Your challenge groups, I mean, this is the bread and butter. This is where most of my coaches come from, because they get transformations, they're believers, and they want to share their story. And so I did a little statistic research, and most of my leaders, like the top ones, the top 20%ers that are diamond and 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, they're the ones that had an amazing transformation. They're not the ones that I recruited, that I said, you got to join this opportunity, and I talked through a personal message or on the phone or face-to-face. They were the ones, all of them, in my challenge group. So for me, the best way that I recruit coaches is I start with their little why, which is to get healthy and fit. And they're, of course, being exposed to the opportunity because I'm sharing it all over Facebook. That's why it's important, too, to share on, and we're going to get to that. But challenge groups has to be your selling point. That has to be number one, Success Club. That is my secret sauce, is Success Club and helping people get results. And, I'll be honest, I fell off maybe like 3 months ago, and I felt like I lost the heart, because after a while you get burnt out. And I got burnt out, and thank God I got back on with personal development and starting a program again and getting myself fired up and being self-motivated. But when I started to get back on is when, my business started to get back on, and I started to fall in love with doing challenge groups again. And a lot of times it could seem like the same thing every month, but if you truly care about people and you truly help them with their results and not just look at them like another number or another successful point, they can turn out to be your number one. And so in the beginning, I treated everyone like gold. My mom always taught me, treat every hair client like gold, and you will have an awesome clientele. And I never forget she said that. And it's so simple, but honestly, I look back and I had an amazing clientele doing hair. I mean, I made great money, but I was killing myself, and my body was aching, and I just wasn't happy. But I treated my challengers like the same way my mom said. As funny as that might sound, and it was amazing. My best builders were built in the beginning of my business, and they're still with me. So I knew something changed in the middle, and I had to get back to that. And so now my goal is to treat them like I'm there for them. Like, I'm giving them the best experience how I experience this business. And so that's the key. That is the key to just simply help people get results, and in turn, they're going to become your coaches. But you got to work really hard on that. That's not easy. The second way to stay consistent is now sharing this opportunity on your Facebook publicly. And there's so many different ways, through, a sneak peek, through your posts, through a live call. And I encourage you to make a third-party tool of your story and how this opportunity has impacted your life. And I didn't do this in the beginning, but I encourage my coaches for the past 2 years to do this. And I start off automatically having a third-party tool to give to people instead of giving my third-party tool or sending the intro to Team Beachbody. People want to see you. And so this is vital, because if someone's seeing you share, like, you want to send them your story right away, unless you can get face-to-face with them or on the phone. But this is vital, is to share the opportunity publicly, personal message, and every little way that you can, because all of those challengers, I don't throw up the opportunity. I don't say the opportunity at all in my challenge groups. They're seeing it on Facebook. Like, they're seeing it on my timeline, and I know they're going to be exposed that way. And so when I go to close, hey, your Shakeology is about to process. I'd love to help you get it cheaper, possibly for free. That's my exact script. They're already like, whoa, what do you mean for free? And it just opens up doors. And so I close people at least 80% into coaching, because I'm staying consistent on my timeline. It's just like clockwork to me. There's so many different ways to do this also. Write a list of every type of person that you want to attract. So probably thinking like, well, how do I share it besides just a post? Write all the type of people that you want to attract into this business. So like I said, the struggling families, busy mom, faithful, not faithful, people that are out of shape, like, those are my people that I want to attract. So I make sure I'm speaking to those people in my posts. I'm speaking directly to them. I'm not just speaking to a broad audience. Like, it's narrow. What makes this so different? Like, what makes Beachbody so different? I just did a Shakeology post the other day, and I actually rarely do Shakeology posts because, I feel like you can build relationships so much more with your other posts than Shakeology. That's going to come up eventually. My brand is me and who I am, so I don't really share Shakeology much, but I did share it the other day. I felt like I was compelled to share because I got an objection on Shakeology. And I shared not just how I love Shakeology and the recipe of the day, I shared why it's so different. So when someone's about to start a healthy lifestyle, they're going to see that why. So when you go to do a post, always share the why in the post. It's important. And they're going to remember your why. It was so different. Why Beachbody is so different. Why coaching is so different. Why Shakeology is so different. Share different objections from the past week. So I'm always writing down, like, I just wrote down an objection. Yeah, right. From my coach that made that video. Like, yeah, right. Everything she says is the same, just like any other coach. I'm going to address that objection. We get so many, right? With money, with time, with you having to be in shape. We can talk about objections all day long. And Bonnie Engel does such a great job at it. And ever since I started doing it, she had an awesome video with Raina Odell on her YouTube channel. That changed my business a lot. So addressing objections. What are your favorite parts of this business that you love? That, we have the solution. Like, those are things you got to share. Your favorite successes from the past week. So I'm always sharing coach success stories, sharing the possibilities of other coaches, and just recognition, how your life would be without this opportunity. At Summit, Ali Upham and Chelsea Pearson did this in their seminar. They had everybody get up, and I thought it was genius to go and share it on Facebook, to share with a partner next to you. You pick your partner, how your life would be if you didn't have Beachbody. And I literally started bawling. Like, I was super emotional. Just the whole Summit can be emotional, but I was hysterical. My coach in front of me, she was a new diamond, was there, and she started crying also. It was such a beautiful moment. And that's powerful. How would your life be without Beachbody? Make a post about that. Share from your heart. That gets people inspired big time. And so I shared that. That was emotional, and it blew up. So it's 4 to 6 exposures. GoPro. I always relate to that book. Also, Eric Worre is a genius. And just like he says, people are not going to join you unless they see it 4 to 6 times and several times. So you've got to share often. And no doesn't mean no. It just means not right now. I can't even tell you how many coaches that said no to me 3 years ago and they signed up. Like my OBGYN, which I never thought would sign up. She's retired now, but she just signed up about a month ago, right before Summit. Like, it's crazy. And now, like, she's talking to other doctors and nurses, and you just never know where this whole thing is going to lead you. So get them on Facebook. Don't be afraid to share it. You never know. The next way is to reach out to people. Something I did in the beginning was, reaching out as far as staying consistent on social media. I waited for people to come to me, and that was a big no-no. And a lot of times, most people, which I thought too in the beginning, you think top coaches, they just have all these people coming to them, and they're just super successful because they have this huge following, and it just comes easy for them. But let me tell you, they're not waiting for anyone to come to them. They're going out and they're going to ask those people. They are finding people, and they are making it happen, like, no matter what. So you cannot wait for people to come to you, because it's just not going to happen. The answer is always going to be no if you don't ask. So go find people. And there are several different outlets, which I'm going to talk about in the next bullet point. So you cannot wait for people to come to you. It's not going to happen. So you got to initiate it. You got to initiate the coaching opportunity, the challenge groups, the relationship, everything. So a lot of times, all the success that you see from, Kim or me or other coaches, it's just a lot of hustle and a lot of hard work behind the scenes. So if you do a post, I'm teaching a lot of brand new coaches to do this. Every time you do a challenge post or, opportunity post, go use scripts, make them your own, and reach out to those people. There's so many scripts out there. So this just gives you a way to, to get conversations going and to give more work for yourself to build your contact list. So someone likes something of mine and I've never seen them like it, or I can tell, like, we don't have many mutual friends, they're not a coach, and they're just intrigued on something, I'll reach out and I'll just, for an example, say, like, I saw you're interested in my health and fitness post. Thank you for showing support. I'd love to, help you with your goals in the future if you're interested. Like, something so simple, at the top of my head, I would message them. So don't be afraid to reach out to people. And even if it's a no, like I said, it's not right now, just add them to your contact list. Even if it is a no, I have a big no list. And a lot of those people, looking back, they have joined from that no list. So, reach out to people. Don't wait for people to come to you. The last thing that I want to talk about to attract business builders, and a lot of businesses, I would say, as far as coaches, I feel like this is one thing they go wrong. They kind of settle in their network and they feel like they don't need to grow. They don't need to expand it. And they're just preaching to the same choir. And that's like their objection is, how do you find more people? I don't have enough people as you do. And I always call that bluff. Like, there's so many people all around us. Like, there's people everywhere. You just have to go and find them. And you have to understand the cold market funnel, which I love explaining this. It makes so much sense. And it starts with, and even Gary said this, in his Crush It book, that you have to give people good content. That's the way that people are going to continue to follow you. So good, free, awesome content, like an awesome recipe or an awesome product, so other than Beachbody, or, something your family did on the weekend that you're recommending, like just great value, and, your story, and people can relate to that. That's something that, not a lot of people do. So you are being a leader, you are being an entrepreneur, you are having a spotlight on you sharing great content, and eventually you're going to put a free group out there, per se. And I've had lots of successes with free groups, and this is how I've expanded and grown my network to where it is. But eventually you have that great content, you friend request people, you get mutual friends, you have a free group, then you have maybe a challenge preview to work those free people into the challenge preview that's free. Then you have a real challenge to work into, then you have a coach sneak peek, then the opportunity, and they go down this funnel, and it's slowly, you're just building, your relationship with these people, you're building trust. and you have people at all different areas of your cold market funnel. So right now, I have people in free groups. I have people in a challenge preview that's starting Monday. I just finished a sneak peek that was going on. I have a challenge group going on, and I have a live opportunity call scheduled at the end of the month. So you see, and I'm mindful that I need good content all the time on my timeline, and I'm expanding my network at the same time. So there are people at all different areas of my cold market funnel. So eventually they're gonna go down, they're gonna come at the bottom, but I've gotta have a lot of people at the top, right? A lot of people, and always adding people to that top. So a lot of coaches go wrong with, no one's joining, they're not reaching out, you're not sharing good content, you're not inviting to these free groups, to build relationships, and they just feel dry and stuck. But I'm telling you right now, there's a solution. You're not dry and you're not stuck. You just have to find ways to expand your network, because really the more you share your story with new people, the more people are going to join you on this journey. And I'll tell you right now, I have shared my story so many freaking times. People are probably sick of hearing it. And even my coaches are probably sick of hearing it. But I tell them it's okay. Like, you have to do the exact same thing, because there's a new eyeball on my story, and that new eyeball might be my next awesome, leader on my team. You never know. So you have to share your story. I use social media, yes, personal, but mainly my business. So if someone's sick of hearing my story, unfollow me. You've got to share your story till people are sick of hearing it. Okay, so there's just many different ways. To give you an example, Instagram, I've just gotten into Instagram like a lot. Instagress, look that up. It's called Instagress, like INSTAGRESS or GRASS. In a matter of a couple months, I went from like 1,000 followers to almost 5,000 followers. And I've had a bunch of people reach out, and I've messaged a lot of people that have left comments. And I learned this in The Art of Recruiting from Josh Coates. But it's a great platform. You got to watch a video. There's videos all over YouTube on how to use Instagram. It's so simple. And it's like an $80 one-time fee for the whole year, and it gets you all those followers. And I was someone who didn't even want to look at another social media platform besides Facebook. And let me tell you, it has helped my business a lot. So if you want to grow your business, you do have to invest a little bit, guys. Expanding your network, definitely investing your time to learn, investing a tiny bit of money. I don't believe you need to invest tons of money in this business, but you've got to invest small. Like I invested in a laptop. I invest in little trainings with recruiting and ads and things like that. That only helps me grow further, expands my mind. That helps me help other people to grow like you and my team. So I highly suggest looking up Instagress and getting on Instagram. And Josh Coates also recommends Instagram for growing this business, and he has helped so many top coaches grow to like the top 10. It's insane. Facebook like page has done wonders for my business. I boost ads, and I know Gary Vaynerchuk touched upon that. Like, you gotta look into it, whether it's $5 a month. Like, I boost free groups that I get tons and tons of people, and those people turn into challengers and turn into coaches. I rarely get anyone from my personal page anymore that I've known forever. It has to be someone new that maybe I added in the past year. Free groups, like I said, work wonders. I'll never forget. This was my first Success Club cruise, sitting next to Tara Carr's mom. If you don't know her, she's an awesome coach in the network. But her mom just like spilled out all these secrets, and I was the new diamond coach, and she said she just grew her whole network from free groups. And I'm like, I'm gonna see where this takes me. And it really did. It grew my entire network. It's insane how free groups, and I do crock-pot groups, and I've created Google documents on recipes. It's all on Google. I've just made my own and used our Beachbody meal plans. Very simple stuff. Like, I've just made a stock image of like day one, an apple fruit snack, breakfast eggs with turkey, like super simple meal plans. What else? Like, you could do personal development. I did a faithful personal development group one time that I had like 200 people in from my like page. And of course, a couple people signed up. I got Success Club from that group. it's just, you gotta trial and error with free groups. They're not all gonna work. I've had many failed ones, but it's helped tremendously. Referrals. If someone says no to me, I'm always saying, if you know anyone else that wants to get healthy and fit, send them. Healthy, fit, or financially fit, send them my way. Facebook groups, you have to be so specific. In the beginning, I joined like this big Mamorama group here in Broward County in South Florida, and I did everything wrong, so I had to leave. But I joined like a runner group when I was training for a half marathon one time. I joined a faithful group, and I joined tons of hairstyling groups. And eventually, I just was in those threads, and Gary also says, you got to be in threads. Like, you got to be starting conversations with people. You got to go back and forth, and eventually you can friend them when the conversation gets great. But I've gotten tons of friends from Facebook groups, but it cannot be any groups that have coaches, and it has to be so, like I said, narrow to your market or so specific to like your interests. Like, say you have a golden retriever, get in a golden retriever group, you know? And then mutual friends. There's so many mutual friends that you could expand your network. At this point, I don't do that because it's mainly all coaches and I our mutual friends. So I don't even look anymore. But those are the top ways that I expand my network with. And I stay consistent, you know, just like, I stay consistent on my timeline, just like drinking Shakeology and eating healthy and working out. It's the same with our social media. It's like a machine, you know, like the more it's fed optimal nutrition, the more, you know, like you're going to have traction. And I love that analogy. I think Gary said that analogy in his book, Crush It. So we just need great content every single day. And during this time of expanding your network, like I said, you have to share the opportunity. I cannot stress that enough. Like, you have to share the opportunity and your life and your why and your vision and those defining moments. That funnel is critically important to a thriving, growing business. And if not, you're just going to preach to the same choir, and it's going to be hard to attract those strong business builders if you're only counting on maybe the 500 friends that you have to grow this business into $1 million business. It doesn't make sense. You need to be growing. So don't wait for success to come to you, guys. You got to dish out what has been given to you. And it's a disservice, I think, not to share this opportunity. It's a disservice not to share how my life has been completely transformed. Living this dream life, I call it, to other people. So if I can help other people, you know, from my story, why not? One quote that I love from Eric Worre, he says, amateurs look at prospecting like bothering and harassing, and I definitely looked at it like that in the beginning, but pros look at it like you're rescuing the willing. And so true, we're rescuing people here, so you can't be afraid to share this. I mean, what if I didn't share this opportunity? What if I didn't join Beachbody? You know, I wouldn't have grown this huge team. I would have inspired people. I wouldn't have changed my marriage, you know, to where it is now. Like, personal development has completely helped us, and I wouldn't be the mom I am now. So gotta share this. It's a disservice. So you can't overthink it. You got to know in your heart that you're doing the right thing. You're on the right track with an amazing leader, Kim, and you have built this awesome team and this family. So everyone's on the same train with you. So one last thing, you can't trap somebody else's destiny in your mouth. Because what if Christina didn't share? What if my original coach, because Christina wasn't my original coach, I was inherited to her. What if she didn't share that with me? You know, like, that would have been them trapping my destiny in their mouth. So you got to share it. So that's all I've got. I hope that was super valuable for you and kind of gave you a glimpse into my business and how it's gotten to where it is today by doing all these things.
Awesome. So much value. Thank you so much for being on this call. And I got to tell you, I was just actually like texting my girlfriend, and I was like, she just nailed such an aha moment for myself, because I think both of us fell into a kind of like, you do get burned out a little, especially when you go for, 11-star or 8-star or whatever. It's a lot of stress. and you get burned out. And like you said, live boldly. And, my coach that I was actually talking to, she's like, you know what, Kim, when I joined your team, you were like a 1-star coach. She goes, and I thought you were a 10-star coach. And I was like, you know what? Because I was really bold back then. I was just like, just out there. And so that is my hugest takeaway from you is just dream it, live it, be bold with it, and just really like rescue the willing, because I know for me, that's something I struggle with, sending messages out. But you know what, when you put it that way, it's almost like an obligation to do that. So thank you so much for being on. I don't want to keep you too much, but I love you. You are awesome. You are a leader who has full integrity, and you built a beautiful team. And so thank you for sharing your heart with our team.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, thank you so much for being on. I love seeing your smiling faces. Crush it.
Yes. Go get that book. It's phenomenal.
It is. All right, bye, guys.